there's a dream. A feeling etched into the very soul of American culture. It's the rumble of a V-twin engine, the glint of chrome in the sun, the promise of the open road. It's the dream of owning a Harley-Davidson, a symbol of rebellion, a badge of honor, a ticket to a brotherhood forged in steel and gasoline. But behind the polished chrome and the carefully crafted marketing, there's a darker, more complicated reality. A series of brutal truths that the factory in Milwaukee won't print in their glossy brochures. Truths that most riders will only learn after years of frustration, empty wallets, and shattered illusions. We're about to pull back the curtain, to expose the secrets, the scandals, and the cold, hard facts that every Harley rider deserves to know. So, before you throw your leg over that iron horse, or if you're already deep in the life, you need to ask yourself, are you ready for the truth? Because today, we're counting down the 21 brutal truths every Harley rider should know, but most never will. Number 21. The Harley tax is real, and it's coming for your wallet. You've just signed the papers. That gleaming new Harley is finally yours. You feel the pride, the excitement. But that price you paid, that was just the entry fee. Welcome to the world of the Harley tax. It's the unwritten rule that no stock Harley is ever truly finished. The seat is uncomfortable. The exhaust is too quiet. The handlebars aren't quite right. The factory knows this. In fact, they count on it. That Screamin' Eagle upgrade. That's a tax. That custom paint job. Tax. That new set of pipes that finally makes your bike sound like a Harley. You guessed it, tax. Before you know it, you've spent thousands, maybe even tens of thousands, just to make your bike what it should have been from the factory. The brutal truth is, Harley-Davidson isn't just selling you a motorcycle. They're selling you a platform for endless, expensive customization. And the house always wins. Number 20. The Sportster Trap. Your starter bike's hidden limitations. For decades, the Sportster has been the gateway drug to the Harley-Davidson brand. It's relatively affordable, it's got the classic look, and the dealership will tell you it's the perfect starter bike. But what they don't tell you is that it's a trap. The Sportster is a fantastic motorcycle. For what it is, a bar hopper, a city cruiser, but the moment you start dreaming of longer rides, of hitting the open highway, you will hit a wall. The small fuel tank means you're constantly looking for the next gas station. The stiff suspension will punish you on anything but perfect pavement. And that 883cc engine, it'll feel underpowered and overworked the moment you try to keep up with the big twins. The brutal truth is, the Sportster is designed to make you want more. It's a stepping stone, a calculated move by Harley to get you back in the dealership, ready to trade up and spend more money. You didn't buy a bike for life. You bought a subscription. Number 19. The Twin Cam Time Bomb, a legacy of betrayal. From 1999 to 2017, Harley-Davidson produced the Twin Cam engine. It was a successor to the legendary Evolution engine, and it powered a generation of bikes. But lurking inside many of these engines, specifically those from 1999 to 2006, was a catastrophic design flaw. A dirty little secret that would cost riders thousands and shatter their trust in the brand. The problem was the cam chain tensioners. Made of a soft plastic material, they were designed to wear out. But they wore out far too quickly, and when they failed, they sent a shower of plastic shrapnel directly into the engine's oil pump. The result? Catastrophic engine failure. No warning. No check engine light. Just a sudden, sickening silence as your engine seized, often at highway speeds. The brutal truth is, Harley knew about this problem for years. They quietly changed the design in later models, but they never issued a full recall. They left a generation of riders sitting on a ticking time bomb. A testament to a time when profit was put before loyalty. Number 18. The Milwaukee 8's dirty secret. The sumping scandal, the Milwaukee 8 engine, introduced in 2017, was supposed to be the answer to the twin cam's problems. More power, less heat, and a return to Harley's reputation for reliability. But once again, a design flaw emerged. A problem that the factory tried to downplay, but that riders on the ground were experiencing in alarming numbers. It's called sumping. In simple terms, the engine's oil was failing to properly circulate. Instead of returning to the oil tank, it was getting trapped in the crankcase. This led to a sudden and dramatic loss of power, and in some cases, complete engine failure. Riders would be cruising along, and suddenly, their brand new, expensive motorcycle would feel like it was dragging an anchor. The brutal truth is, for the first few years of production, the Milwaukee 8 had a serious problem. And while Harley has since introduced a fix, it's another example of the company's customers being used as unwitting beta testers. Number 17. The dealership dilemma. Brotherhood or business? Walk into any Harley-Davidson dealership and you'll be greeted with the promise of brotherhood. The smell of leather, the gleam of chrome, the friendly smiles. They want you to feel like you're joining a family. But don't be fooled. It's a business. A very profitable business. And you are the customer, from inflated prices on new and used bikes, to the high-pressure sales tactics for extended warranties and service plans. The dealership experience can be a minefield. And when it comes to service, the hourly rates can be astronomical. The brutal truth is, while many dealerships are staffed by genuine enthusiasts, their primary goal is to separate you from your money. The brotherhood often ends the moment your warranty expires. Number 16. The culture clash. Posers, rubs, and the fading brotherhood. There's a war being waged for the soul of Harley-Davidson. On one side, you have the old guard. The grizzled veterans who have been riding for decades, who know how to turn a wrench, and who live and breathe the biker lifestyle. On the other side, you have the posers, the rich urban bikers or rubs who buy the bike. The branded leather jacket, the chaps, and the Schoolumblies owned everything, but who only ride a few hundred miles a year on sunny weekends. This isn't just about appearances. It's about a fundamental shift in the culture. The new wave of Harley owners often embodies a cliché, judgmental attitude, looking down on other brands and even other Harley riders who don't fit their narrow definition of what a real biker is. The brutal truth is, the welcoming, inclusive brotherhood that Harley-Davidson advertises is becoming harder and harder to find. It's been replaced by a culture of consumerism and conformity, where the logo on your jacket is more important than the miles on your odometer. Number 15. The aging crisis. A brand on the brink. Look around at the next Harley-Davidson rally. What do you see? Gray beards. A lot of them. The average age of a Harley owner is now over 50, and it's climbing every year. The brand that once defined youth rebellion is now the brand of choice for retirees. And that is a demographic time bomb. Younger generations, saddled with debt and with different values, are not buying into the Harley dream. They're opting for lighter, more affordable, and more technologically advanced bikes from Japanese and European manufacturers. Harley's attempts to attract these younger riders, like the ill-fated Livewire electric motorcycle, have been spectacular failures. The brutal truth is, Harley-Davidson is facing a demographic crisis. Its core audience is aging out, and there's no one to replace them. The brand is revving in reverse, and the road ahead looks dangerously uncertain. Number 14. The Made in America myth. Made in America. It's the bedrock of the Harley-Davidson brand. the promise that your bike was forged in the heartland by hardworking Americans. But in recent years, that promise has been quietly broken. In a move that has outraged many loyal riders, Harley has been shifting more and more of its production overseas. To avoid tariffs and cut labor costs, Harley now operates factories in Thailand, Brazil, and India. While the bikes are still assembled in the USA, many of the components are now made elsewhere. The brutal truth is, the Made in America badge is becoming more of a marketing slogan than a reality. For a brand that has built its identity on patriotism, it's a bitter pill to swallow. Number 13. The brutal reality of depreciation. There's a persistent myth that Harleys hold their value better than any other motorcycle. And for a time, that was true. But those days are over. The market is now flooded with used Harleys, and the laws of supply and demand are unforgiving, with the aging demographic selling off their bikes, and with fewer new riders entering the market. The value of used Harleys has been steadily dropping. That $30,000 touring bike you bought a few years ago, it might be worth half that now. The brutal truth is, a Harley-Davidson is no longer a guaranteed investment. It's a depreciating asset, just like any other vehicle. And the fall from grace can be a long, expensive one. Number 12. The Harley Shake. More than just a rumble. Every Harley rider knows the shake. That signature V-twin rumble that vibrates through the frame and into your very bones. It's part of the experience, part of the character. But there's a fine line between character and a design flaw. And for many Harleys, that line is blurry. Excessive vibration can lead to more than just numb hands and feet. It can cause parts to loosen and fail. It can lead to premature wear and tear on the engine and frame. And on a long ride, it can be downright exhausting. The brutal truth is, while the rumble is part of the charm, the excessive vibration on many models is a sign of an unbalanced engine, a problem that many other manufacturers solved decades ago. Number 11. The legacy of leaks. Marking your territory. There's an old joke in the biker community. If there's no oil under your Harley, there's no oil in your Harley. It's a joke born from a long and frustrating history of oil leaks. For decades, Harleys have been notorious for marking their territory, leaving a telltale puddle of oil wherever they're parked. While modern Harleys are certainly better than their predecessors, the legacy of leaks continues. Gaskets fail, seals wear out, and the complex air-cooled V-twin design provides plenty of opportunities for oil to escape. The brutal truth is, owning a Harley often means owning a good set of tools and a large supply of shop towels. You're not just a rider. You're a part-time mechanic. Number 10. The weight problem. Heavy metal, heavy lifting, big, heavy machines. A fully loaded touring bike can tip the scales at over 900 pounds. That weight provides a stable, planted feel on the highway. But in the city, in a parking lot, or on a winding back road, that weight can be a curse. Slow speed maneuvers can be a nerve-wracking ordeal. And if you ever drop it, you'd better hope you've been hitting the gym, or that you have a few friends nearby to help you pick it up. The brutal truth is, the sheer weight of many Harley models makes them impractical for a lot of real-world riding situations. They are masters of the open highway, but clumsy giants everywhere else. Number 9. The performance gap. Loud doesn't mean fast. They look mean. They have a presence that few other bikes can match. But when it comes to pure performance, acceleration, braking, and handling, they are often outclassed by their competitors. And it's not even close. For the same price as a mid-range Harley, you can often buy a motorcycle from another brand that is significantly faster, lighter, and more agile. The brutal truth is, you're not paying for performance. You're paying for a brand, a style, and a sound. And while there's nothing wrong with that, don't make the mistake of thinking that your loud pipes make you the fastest bike on the road. Number 8. The lifestyle tax. More than just a motorcycle. When you buy a Harley, you're not just buying a motorcycle. You're buying into a lifestyle. And that lifestyle comes with its own set of costs. The branded leather jacket, the boots, the gloves, the coffee mugs, the dog collars. The list is endless. There's a subtle pressure within the community to display your allegiance to the brand, to wear the uniform, and Harley-Davidson has built a billion-dollar empire on licensing its logo. The brutal truth is, the cost of owning a Harley extends far beyond the bike itself. It's a lifestyle tax, a constant temptation to spend more money to prove that you're part of the club. Number 7. The uncomfortable truth about long rides. They're called touring bikes. They're designed for cross-country adventures. But for many riders, the reality of a long day in the saddle of a Harley is one of discomfort and pain. The stock seats are often too hard. The ergonomics can be awkward. And the vibration, as we've mentioned, takes its toll. Yes, you can spend a fortune on aftermarket seats, handlebars, and suspension upgrades to make your bike more comfortable. But the brutal truth is, many Harleys are not as comfortable as their touring designation would suggest. The dream of the open road can quickly turn into a nightmare of back pain and numb extremities. Number 6. The heat is on. The air-cooled curse. There's nothing quite like the look of an air-cooled V-twin engine. It's a classic, iconic design. But that design comes with a significant drawback: heat, a lot of it. Especially on a hot day, in slow-moving traffic, the heat radiating from that big engine can be unbearable. Your right leg, in particular, will feel like it's being slow roasted. Harley has tried to mitigate this with features like parade mode, which shuts off the rear cylinder at a stop. But the brutal truth is, an air-cooled engine in a modern world of traffic jams and rising temperatures is an inherently flawed design. It's a sacrifice of comfort for the sake of tradition. Number 5. The electrical gremlins. For a brand that prides itself on simplicity and ruggedness, Harleys can have surprisingly complex and temperamental electrical systems. From faulty wiring to failing stators, electrical gremlins are a common complaint among Harley owners. The vibration of the engine can wreak havoc on electrical connections, and the quality of some of the components has been questionable over the years. The brutal truth is, a dead battery or a faulty sensor can leave you stranded just as easily as a major mechanical failure. And diagnosing an electrical problem can be a frustrating and expensive process. Number 4. The truth about the Harley Wave. If you ride, you know the wave. A simple, two-fingered gesture of acknowledgement and respect between fellow riders. But in the world of Harley-Davidson, even this simple tradition has become complicated. Many Harley riders will only wave to other Harley riders. They'll pass a rider on a Japanese or European bike with a stony-faced glare. It's a small thing, but it speaks volumes about the cliquey, exclusionary attitude that has crept into the culture. The brutal truth is, the Harley Wave is often a symbol of division, not brotherhood. It's a reminder that for some, the brand of your bike is more important than the shared passion for riding. Number 3. The pressure to conform, despite its image of rebellion and individuality. The Harley-Davidson world can be surprisingly conformist. There's a certain look, a certain sound, a certain attitude that is expected of you. If you deviate from that, you can be met with criticism and ridicule. Want to wear a full-face helmet instead of a beanie? Prepare for some strange looks. Want to keep your exhaust quiet? You might be told you're not a real rider. The brutal truth is, The freedom that Harley-Davidson sells is often a very narrow, prescribed kind of freedom. It's the freedom to be just like everyone else in the club. Number 2. The decline of an icon when you add it all up. The aging demographic, the declining sales, the manufacturing controversies, the cultural disconnect. You're left with a sobering conclusion. Harley-Davidson, the undisputed king of the motorcycle world for a century, is in decline. The brand is losing its relevance, its market share, and its soul. The leadership in Milwaukee seems to be out of touch, more concerned with fashion and branding than with building great motorcycles. The executive team is filled with nan-riders who have lost the plot. What was once a brotherhood now feels like a boardroom. The brutal truth is, the Harley-Davidson that your father or grandfather knew is gone. And what's left is a company that is struggling to find its way in a world that has passed it by. Number 1. The future is not what you think. So, what does the future hold for Harley-Davidson? The company is desperately trying to reinvent itself. They're dabbling in electric bikes. They're trying to build smaller, more affordable models. But these efforts have been clumsy and half-hearted. They feel inauthentic, a betrayal of the brand's core identity, the brutal truth. The final, most difficult truth of all is that the future of motorcycling may not have a place for Harley-Davidson. The world is changing. Riders are changing. And a brand that is so deeply rooted in the past may not be able to survive in the future. The rumble of the V-twin may one day be a distant echo, a memory of a bygone era. Now, after all of that, you might think that we hate Harley-Davidson. But that's not true. We love these bikes. We love the history, the passion, the feeling you get when you twist the throttle. But love should not be blind. True loyalty requires honesty. And the truth is, owning a Harley-Davidson in the 21st century is a complicated, frustrating, and expensive proposition. It's about loving the ride enough to overlook the flaws. It's about finding the real brotherhood that still exists, far away from the dealership showrooms and the corporate marketing. It's about knowing what you're getting into with your eyes wide open. So, what do you think? What are the brutal truths that we missed? Let us know in the comments below. We read every single one. And if you believe in honest, no nonsense motorcycle content, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell, because the truth is out there. And we're going to keep telling it.